Doctor Who 60th Anniversary, The Giggle.
Wow, this episode sucks so much.
Huh?
I said this episode sucks so much.
Uh, liar.
Yeah.
There's some not great points, but for the most part, it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
I mean, true. There was no Osgood.
Yeah, and I may be a little out of line here, but I found Neil Patrick Harris's German accent a little. I know it's supposed to be over top and bad, but a bit grating.
Yeah, but that was the point.
Yeah, that was the point, but it was a little more than it needed to be. Like he could have dropped into his, like he did with. Well, that's fine then. If he could have dropped into that accent.
Well, that's all right.
Oh,
then.
it's all right then, or whatever. Well, yeah. It's like he could have dropped into that accent when he wasn't. Once they left the store, he could have dropped the accent entirely and gone with like an American or something. Just because
most of it he was doing in English. I mean, most of it, besides his, on again, off again German accent, it was an English accent he was using.
Yeah, but just like drop it entirely because it's really annoying. But like it wasn't. It was fine for when he was when he was in the toy shop and pretending to be German. It's like this guy's obviously not German because this is obviously a really fake accent, which was fine when he was in the game shop when he was playing that sort of game. But it's just sort of, and and it's not a bad thing, but you feel the DNA of the spice up your life. You can feel that with a little bit of the master's I can't decide dance from the 10th Doctor episode.
Yeah,
but that's also that can also be
and
a
power
callback.
And Power of the Doctor. He did that with
Rasputin.
Rasputin.
Yeah, I just the 10th one, the master one clicked for at first because it's Tenet. It's also
every villain needs a kick-ass theme dance and song.
Yeah, which I wanted to get in here before I forget. Like, he locked the master in his gold tooth, and we saw his gold tooth on the thing. So we're getting a master probably faster than we thought. Like, with the master being used so much lately, like they might have taken a little time and waited on the master a little bit, but no, it's like no, we're planting the seeds of the next master. He's right over there. That tooth, that's the master. That's the thing that's gonna go off at some point, and we're gonna get the master. But
true, but that last master did not last long.
No,
he lasted the entire Doctor run, and honestly, so did he lasted. I think the same number of episodes as Sims.
Yeah, it was sort of is what I was thinking. It was just like,
and Missy.
Well, he was, yeah.
They both, because they both only lasted for their Doctor.
Yeah.
Sim was with Tennant, Missy was with Capaldi, and Sasha was with what was with Jodie.
Yeah.
They just
which
this next Doctor is gonna have a new master.
Which just reminds me.
Because it's kind of disappointing in a way because the original Doctors, there were only technically 3 masters, but I mean not really 3 masters because it was in a way more than 3 masters depending on how you look at it. But there was the original was Delgado, And then there was Jeffrey Beavers, who played the decrepit, burnt to a crisp master who is out of regeneration. So he stole the life of Tramus, who is Nissa's dad, and uh, that gave him at least one new life, and he became the Ainley Master. And he lasted. The Time Lords gave him more regenerations and stuff, and a whole new lease on life, as a reward for helping them with something. And he lasted from the fourth Doctor through the seventh. And he was literally in the last. He was in the last episode of the original Doctor Who series.
Yeah. The other thing, the thing that when you came back to it, and you were talking about listing out like who had what masters, like 9, had a really short run, but he had no dealings with the master. 10 had Sims, and it dawned on me about 11 never encountering the master.
Yeah.
That's an interesting interaction that I never thought about. Like, what would that be like? 11 with the master. Like, that's a slightly different personality.
And what kind of master? What master would it be? Like, because it would have to be either, either a future master or another master interacting in the way River Song does by, bouncing between timelines. Because he doesn't have his own master. The master went straight from, was kind of on hiatus or whatever.
Yeah.
And until
Capaldi
Missy
came back with Missy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking if he had a master, like the personality, like what that interaction would be like between 11's doctor and a master that he had. Like,
yes, it makes you wonder what kind of master would he have.
I guess the last master didn't really make that large of an impact on me because I only remember from like maybe 3-4 episodes tops.
I mean, I liked him.
Oh, I liked him. He wasn't a bad master.
He was fun. He was probably my third favorite because Misty and Ainley are tied for one. Like, Ainley will always be my master, but then Missy is, oh my gosh, God, I love Missy. She is so much fun.
Honestly, the only episodes I can really remember him in are like that one Cyberman episode, and the one where his tart is pretty much the flying house.
Oh, the first one where he was O.
Yeah.
Spyfall.
Yeah, those are the only ones of him I can really remember. So that's why he felt like a short-lived master
what
to
about
me.
Power of the Doctor, the very last 13th Doctor episode?
I think
he took over the Doctor's body and started dancing to Ra Ra Rasputin.
Oh yeah.
And then as he's doing that crazy dance, the Daleks and the Cybermen are looking at each other like, what the fuck, man?
But
yeah,
he wasn't a bad master. Yeah, it just didn't feel. It did feel a little short of what he had, but it wasn't. But it felt really quick for him. Like, he was around enough and he did enough, but it just felt short.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're getting off track a little bit here. But getting back to the Giggle, like, See what else was there. Let's see.
Oh, I love how one part I love about this episode is how this episode retconned the whole whatever child thing.
Timeless Child.
Yeah.
Did it? I
I don't
think
think
it.
so.
No.
There was a specific line, and I like did the research on it when he said, "I played jigsaw or whatever with your history."
Did he say your history? I thought he said Earth's history.
No, he said your history.
Well, I
Oh.
don't think he unless we get a specific thing. I don't
Well,
think.
I mean, it could. I'm because he is basically the Whoniverse equivalent of Q.
Yeah,
This
I mean,
character.
he could do
The-
basically anything he wanted to a certain extent. Like as long
But
as
he has certain rules to
But he
follow.
has certain rules. Yeah, he's very powerful, but he has
Okay.
rules.
Okay, so the toy maker is revealed to be the one behind the Timeless Child, providing a smart retcon that resolves plot holes. The Doctor's original history as a Time Lord from Gallifrey is thankfully restored, but the Timeless Child isn't just ignored or completely removed. So it's kind of like 50-50
Where did you get that?
from like the official thing.
Oh, the BBC website.
Well, it's Screen Rant quoting the BBC website. So it's retcon, but it isn't retcon. So it's like,
well, it's not retconned; it's explained because it's still there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not this. It isn't a key thing in the next episode, but it is mentioned. I mean, not the Timeless Child specifically, but that whole and aspect of it is referenced. So that is still his history.
Yeah.
The fact that it could be that he made it his history, just like the whole Mavity thing, where it's a gravity well. A what? A Mavity well.
Oh my God.
So now that does make me cringe. The fact that they're carrying on with this.
I have a feeling that's gonna turn into something bigger later on.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I mean, this is Rusty D. This is.
Yeah, RTD has this habit of, I'm gonna plant this seed over here, and you're not gonna think about it for like a year, and then all of a sudden it's gonna pop back up over here, and you're like, oh, that's where that was.
He's like popping it up here and there, but mentioning it.
Honestly, though, I'm just glad they gave us like a thing for the Timeless Child, like kind of a better explanation of it. Oh, a powerful god changed it.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense as far as fitting it into the storyline, and I think that was a valid explain it away thing that they did, because it is his past now. It is his history. It's written in stone because it is written in script.
Oh no.
So, but they're able to fix, amend it by that one little line of, "Oh, I fucked with your history. You like it?"
Yeah, which is nice. I do appreciate that. But although, when did he do it though? Because didn't the toy maker come back to being after the Doctor played that salt game and the Edge of Space or whatever? When he brought like imagination.
Well, no. Keep in mind, he has control over time.
Oh, yeah.
So he came, he was released only a few hours ago, but within those few hours, he could go back in time and screw everything up.
True. So there's order, there's chaos, and there's play. I like play.
One of the other big sort of things in that they're sticking in here is bi-generation, which
Apparently.
that's a
Well,
thing apparently.
You could tell he's pretty bi in this.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about Gay Doctor. Like, I don't hate it, but I also don't like it.
I don't think he's gay. I think he's. The Doctor is always. But the Doctor is not gay or straight because.
I kind of felt him as like asexual.
Yeah, yeah, he's generally speaking. Some of them are a little flirtier, some of them are a little less, but at the same time, they're not human. You can't put, human concepts of sexuality to a race that does not have a set gender.
Yeah, that's why it feels weird to me.
Like, you can't be gay or straight or whatever if your gender is constantly changing. Like, he's a she sometimes. That means sometimes, and his tastes change. So it's gender fluid and, if anything, I would assume he's more of a sapiosexual.
Yeah.
He's attracted to a person's intelligence and personality. More than anything else.
Which, from what I understand, well, one of the things I do understand, I think I understand, is that it's less the fluidity and the way he is like, the thing to remember is he's also a Time Lord, and that's not everybody on Gallifrey. Like, that's certain elevated people on Gallifrey that become Time Lords, and everybody else is generally sort of normal. So maybe like not regenerating all the time. So maybe Time Lords are very flexible, but like when you get outside, like the normal sort of Gallifreyan are, well, there's not any more Gallifreyans now because they wiped them out, which who knows where that's going, whether they'll fix it again. But the non-Time Lord Gallifreyans were probably a little more static, possibly. I want to know what their culture was like, so not they didn't change their face or their physical features all the time. Maybe they had more of a fixed sexuality. They were either straight or this or that or the other, and then that was how they were. Or it could be the whole society is just a little bit flexible.
No, giant Time Lord orgies.
Wouldn't shock me.
Only on Sundays.
Yes.
Wouldn't shock me, considering you could, if you were a Time Lord, you could walk over into if you wanted some time alone, you could wander into a time capsule, a TARDIS, disappear if you were a good pilot, disappear for a few minutes, in your time, come back and have your fun, and then come back and not miss a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I love the part. Oh, he's out there shooting gophers. Don't worry, I gave them a shield.
I know, that was so cute. Especially since, he died before that episode, before the actual episode aired. So I love how they were able to give him a little send off like that. It was so sweet.
Yeah. And one thing that's also sort of like, there's lots of questions to be answered about bi-generation and how that works, whether that He just
Well,
burned one regeneration, or did he split his regenerations, or what happened
no.
there?
So based on from what I've read, based on references to it, and I'm not sure if it's been confirmed, but the leading fan theory is that that is technically his regeneration, but it's kind of a semi regeneration. So what happened was he the 15th Doctor popped out when 14 wasn't done yet. So when 14 is finally fixed himself, and that's why it's like, well, you haven't fixed yourself yet.
Hmm.
I'm better because you fix yourself.
Is this going to be a Watcher situation?
Kind
Probably.
of. A little bit.
Okay.
So 14, he's recuperating with, Donna and his new fam. And once he's finished, fixing himself, it's time to let go. And that's when he finishes his regeneration and pops out in 14.
Ah.
During the bi-generation.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a tiny little time loop.
Nah.
So there's
But I one thing I really do like, and there were a couple people who were commenting on it, the fact that when he bi-generated, half of his clothes went to one doctor and half went to the other.
Yeah. See, I was wondering whether
no, it was literally a full-on split. And it's like, you realize that means that Tennant was going commando. But also, they're like, but he was wearing they were each wearing a shirt, and I'm like, you've never heard of an undershirt.
Yeah.
Like,
my
you
thought
can
was
tell that was an undershirt that people wear under their dress shirts.
And I'm wearing an undershirt.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was wondering, because I hadn't really paid attention to the fan commentary on it, this bi-generation. I was wondering if it was just a solid split, like, was Davies setting up for the Valyard to show up at some time, like, that's a whole nother line of the Doctor, and that 14 becomes, regenerates, and just sort of, that's another line of the Doctor that's just out there, and eventually that Doctor becomes the Valyard, or something like that. And that explains...
That is an interesting theory, but it doesn't coincide with some of the lines being said in the episode.
Yeah, well, it was a little vague, and so it might... and bi-generation isn't well understood. It said it was a mythic...
It was a myth.
Yeah, they thought it was a myth. So, like, maybe...
But that's what I like about Davies, and even Moffat did it to a degree. Not as much as Davies, but I mean, yeah. He likes to. He works really well with nuance. Like, he doesn't just shoot you in the face like Chibnall was doing.
Yeah.
He leaves just enough vague that he could do pretty much anything with it. But he's got a plan, but it's vague enough that you can theorize about it.
He is a master of subtlety. Like, back with the implanting the word bad wolf and like the most obscure thing where you don't even notice it, or Saxon, like vote Saxon. A year before Utopia and Sound of Drums, he was already planting those seeds.
Yeah.
And these references, like the whole you fixed yourself, and those tiny little phrases, just it's subtle enough that you don't always notice them, but at the same time, it's just like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense when it finally clicks into place, you know?
Yeah. Now
Like,
there's one little Easter egg I wanted to throw in just for fun. I want them to show a scene where like the TARDIS is in space, right? And you just see a spinning top in the background. From when he said I turn galaxies into spinning tops.
oh, uh, but I do not know the answer to this because they've only had one episode after this and it was not
Christmas
referenced
special.
in that episode. But who do you think the big bad that
Okay.
the toy maker was referencing is?
I
I
have
think
a
it's the Great Intelligence.
I don't know who that is, but I have a theory.
That it's a
I'm
demon.
gonna
That
guess
it's
it's
a demon.
nah. I'm gonna guess it's either the embodiment, like he was the embodiment of play. I think it's either the embodiment of order or the embodiment of chaos.
Oh, you think it's either the Black or White Guardian?
Sure.
Didn't he say something
There,
like he beat them or something? The
yeah. He said he he
Beat
beat
God in a chess game.
gods. He beat gods. Uh, not specifically. I don't think he specifically said the Guardians.
I just have this vague memory of him saying something like that, but maybe
I
I was
mean,
just putting
he
the
might have.
guardians in there for gods, and that my
Yeah,
memory is.
maybe because the Black and White Guardians are basically the gods of Gallifrey. Like they were kind of like gods to the Time Lords. So he very well could have said that. I thought he said gods, but I might have. I did not. I watched it last week. I didn't have a chance to
Uh,
watch it this week.
I only heard
Um,
God, but I may be wrong.
he might have said both.
Hmm.
Um, but also the one I'm thinking is the Great Intelligence that has been referenced. It has been around since the Second Doctor.
Yeah,
The Great
last time we
Intelligence.
saw it was 11, right?
Yeah, the last time we like actually saw
Or was
an
that?
inkling
Yeah, it was 11. Yeah.
of it was the one with the killer snowmen.
Let me guess. Oh, I vaguely remember that. I thought they
That
defeated.
that was the one with Sir Ian McKellen voicing the
Yeah,
Great Intelligence.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
Very
but
intelligent sounds like a robot to me.
not
Just the
it
name.
it has used robots in the past. In fact, the Yeti were technically forms of robots being controlled by orbs. And actually, the Great Intelligence is the very first instance of us meeting Kate Lethbridge Stewart, because we meet her in the spin-off story called Downtime, where her son, and Victoria and the Brigadier and unit have to stop the Great Intelligence from some massive plot.
Yeah.
Not played by Gemma Redgrave. It was actually a different actress, but this was 1990s, so
The wilderness
94, I
years.
think. Yeah, it was the wilderness years. It wasn't even done by the BBC. It was done by Real Time, and it was a straight to VHS thing, which I actually have the DVD of, but it's region 2, so I need to have a region free player, and I can't find my laptop my tough book that has a region free VLC.
Hey, it could be I forget her name, but it could be your favorite character.
The Ronnie?
Yeah.
I doubt it. I mean, the Ronnie is just another Time Lord. She is a scientist who has no morals and whose only purpose in life is the advancement of science and knowledge. In fact, she was banished from Gallifrey because one of her experiments caused her lab rat to grow disproportionately large and eat the president's cat and tried to eat the president.
Yeah.
And that's why she got banished. But I mean, she's kind of on the level with the Doctor and the Master. In fact, they were old school buddies. They went to school together. They were part of this thing called the DECA, which is kind of, I think it's kind of like a Time Lord special ed, where she was behavioral. The Master was probably antisocial issues, and the Doctor was learning disability. I'm not kidding there either.
You know, honestly, I know it's impossible, but I would love to see a fight between the Toymaker and Q.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Well, there have been Star Trek and Doctor Who crossovers in comics.
There have been comics with the.
And there was, I think, I seem to remember hearing there was like the first inklings of a crossover between Doctor Who and Star Trek, but it was during Enterprise, and Enterprise got canceled, so they just sort of forgot about it.
But I would love a crossover with the Toymaker and Q.
Yeah. Although, the new villain could just totally be a totally new made-up villain that they made up.
It could be, but I feel like it would be something
Yeah.
An older big bad. Just not Beetleborgs.
Yeah. Just the thought about, like, Star Trek's doing all right now, and Doctor Who's doing all right now. Like, it would be funny. I was just thinking, like, how would you do that? Like, you could either do it seriously, like, have, a serious crossover. It depends on what this next Doctor is actually like. Didn't see much of him in the Giggle. But
this next Doctor is really like, he's really kind of goofy, but not like goofy. He's kind of a cross between 11 and 9.
Okay. Well,
I'll be right
I was
back.
gonna say, depending on his personality, which one you would do. But I was just thinking, like, what if you had, for like a second, like, he pops up in like Lower Decks, and then a Lower Decks character pops up somewhere in a Doctor Who episode, and it's just sort of whoops, wrong universe. just a quick cameo just for fun. But that was just a thought for a second, because it wouldn't require them if they popped into an animated verse, and then you have the Lower Decks people animate like a few seconds in Doctor Who that are just the Doctor popping into the Lower Decks universe, and you have that same scene pop into a Lower Decks episode. So he accidentally goes there, wrong universe, poop, and goes back to whatever he was doing. Just to see how it reads to the audiences, and see whether people like it or not. And if they like it, then maybe plan something a little bigger. But like, just a blip in wrong universe, keep going. That would be funny. But yeah, I haven't seen the Christmas special yet, but
I shall spoil it for you now.
No.
I haven't seen it either.
Okay. But anyway, like I was saying, let's see, what else was there? There was something else. A minor, like, maybe I missed it because I only watched it once. Like, it felt like, and Doc's muted. The game of catch that they did, like, it felt like it was a little, like, I understand that they do it past him, but it's just like, usually they would do some sort of, there's usually like a trick or something that they're doing, to they usually that's the like they pull a trump card or they do something, and then that tricks the villain into missing the catch, and he just didn't catch it. Maybe I didn't catch the. I only
No, they didn't make a trick or anything. It's just he missed the catch.
Yeah, it felt a little anticlimactic because you with the doctor you're expecting, okay, it'll go along for a while, then the doctor will pull something out of his sleeve, like some trick or something, and then he'll win because he was out clevering them. Or
yeah, but it's not out clevering. You can't really out clever the toy maker.
Yes, you can. That's basically how he beat him the first time.
Well, it was he beat his game.
Yeah, because he did like he used his voice to pretend to be the toy maker or something, and that moved the pieces, and that won the game. Well, he could do it from within, or something like that. He did something with his voice, was able to win the game while still inside his TARDIS, and dematerialized as soon as his little universe was being destroyed. Then he got out, and that's how he because he's like, you have to come out to finish the game, Doctor. And the Doctor's like, no, I don't. Does a trick and gets away scot-free.
I like it better this way because, he won fair and square. No tricks, no.
I'm not talking like out of the game tricks. Not a dirty trick, but just like, part of the game. It's like this is within the game's rules. Like he's playing within the game's rules, just does something.
Plus, I mean, the way they were throwing it at each other with the there were plenty of those like best shots and stuff, and I like the fact that it wasn't one of the fast shots. It wasn't one of the foom. It was it was an honest, normal throw.
I don't know, but it.
And by the way, I heard you as I had to step out for a sec.
But, yeah, I'm just making sure you hadn't accidentally hit mute, or to make sure Madrock was also aware that you had hit mute.
Yeah, but the thing with this new Doctor would definitely fit in with Lower Decks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I was saying earlier, like if you could do that sort of wrong universe, you get a 5-second crossover, and then from both perspectives in different episodes, in one episode of Lower Decks and one episode of Doctor Who, and then if that works out, if people like it, then maybe you plan something a little more substantial. But
the only problem is the fact that it's kind of like the Roger Rabbit issue, why they couldn't do Roger Rabbit nowadays, because Lower Decks is owned by Paramount.
Yeah, and they're BBC.
And Disney owns Doctor Who. Well, Disney owns American Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's a Disney BBC joint venture, but it would be it's not impossible. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible.
It's improbable.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's improbable. It's not impossible. And they've done it before in comics, and if you you both benefit from this if they're both are doing well, and both of them generally are. Doctor Who's doing well, Star Trek's doing well. Neither of them loses by doing this, and just having something fun happen. It's improbable, I admit. It's improbable, but it's not impossible at this point.
True.
And I'm just saying, it would be fun.
It would be epic, bro.
But
Now, one thing I'm curious about the toy maker. So, is it like one toy maker per universe, or can he like travel between universes?
I'm pretty sure he travels between universes.
Okay. He just wanted a friend, somebody to play games with.
Yeah, he was bored. I'm bored.
But I do fully admit, if I was an all-powerful being like that, I would probably fuck around with Earth too.
I mean, it like he said, it's fun. Like humans are so easy.
I mean, yeah, I think it's true. Pretty much everybody believes they are right.
yeah. So and that was another good thing about this is the commentary was nice. It was a smart commentary. This was a better commentary. It does punch you in the face a bit, but it doesn't sit there and talk down to you while it's doing it. And it doesn't. It doesn't.
It wasn't. It was more of a it was more Captain Planet, less
Orphan
He-Man's
55.
Heroes of the Universe. Huh?
Is more Captain Planet than Orphan 55.
Yeah. Well, no, I was talking about like how you know in the old cartoons, you had a show like Captain Planet that the show was about saving the Earth for, from like that from pollution and stuff. And yeah, there was a moral to it, but it was still entertaining as opposed to freaking that.
Yeah, we're gonna attack something on the end of this thing, and
yeah, we're gonna
have a terrible episode, and then we're gonna attack something awful on top of that. Because even without the final sort of looking directly, down camera to deliver that message at the end, which was really kind of ham-fisted. Like the episode had potholes that you could drive a truck through.
Yeah.
So I'll say my only like big problem with this episode. It was a great episode.
No, wow, good.
I mean, yeah. Okay, two big problems. No, I'm sorry. It just felt like a villain, like the toy maker. I wish he was lasted like at least 2 or 3 episodes.
I know.
It felt too short for him.
I know, but keep in mind the way they did that, he very well could come back.
Yeah, true, he was basically threatening, "I'll be back someday. I'll get you. I'll get you next time."
True, and Doctor. Knowing tropes, he might come back, but he might be working under the big bad.
Yeah. I messed up my Dr. Claw impression. I'll get you next time, Doctor.
So now I wonder if I know it's practically impossible, or maybe if you were to like kill the toy maker. Would that mean that the concept of play would be erased? Like no more ball, no more chess, no more video games, nothing like that anymore?
I doubt it.
No, I don't think he is the linchpin of that. I think he's more just taking advantage of that. He's obsessed with that.
I think not even that so much. I think he's it's not like he is the element of play. He's more it is his element, but he's not the representative of it. Just like, Twilight Sparkle was the element of magic, but without her, magic didn't cease to exist.
Yeah.
He relies on play as part of his construction but he is not play's master. He's more of a servant of play.
Mm-hmm.
Plays the big bad. I'm kidding. I guess we'll see.
No, I'm the big bad. No. Rose Tyler's the big bad. Wolf. Couldn't help it.
Let's see what else was there. I mean, it was interesting. Also, an interesting choice to do the 60th anniversary, sort of, to tie in the first television broadcast as part of your 60th anniversary.
I mean, yeah.
That's kind of an interesting idea. Oh, and Donna getting a job at Unit, so she doesn't have to. They don't have to worry about money, and she can bring her back anytime they want. She's like, oh, she works at Unit now.
Like, how much do you pay? I want double. Okay.
Yeah, it's like 60,000. Make it 120. Okay.
Oh, I forget her name, and
Melanie.
Yeah. I don't know who she is, but I figured that would be like this.
She was the companion of the 6th and 7th Doctor.
Okay. Wait, I was in the first redhead?
Yeah.
No. and
she wasn't
weren't the last either. Unless you count, like, yeah, but like after your time, but before now, yeah, there was another redhead in there.
Yeah, I still have a fan crush on Amy Pond. Hey, I have a thing for redheads, okay?
I mean, I don't blame you.
Redheads are fucking hot.
I mean, I have a lot of redheads in my family. Like my dad's side of the family, most of the women in there were redheads.
Let's see what
His
else.
grandmother, my grandmother, my aunt.
See what else? Oh, I bet those security guards are having a ball. Yeah. I was gonna get a groaner at that, but I had to.
Would you wait? Would you call them then bouncers?
God, that was even more groan worthy than mine. And also, people, if your bullets turn into rose petals the first couple times you shoot, maybe stop shooting.
I know, but she was telling them to keep shooting.
And I was like, pew, pew. God, I'm still listening to that again after this.
Huh?
I'm still listening to that again after this.
What? Spice up your life?
Uh-huh. I can't believe a Doctor Who episode, maybe like a Spice Girls song.
I mean, I like Spice Girls.
I don't hate Spice Girls, but it's not one of those bands I find myself listening to.
Yeah.
They're very much of their era.
They are.
Yeah. But yeah, Neil Patrick Harris did a great job though.
He owned the role. That was just magnificent.
A lot of doctors like, no, she's technically stuck between a heartbeat. Well, that's just fine.
No, well, that's all right then.
Is that what you were saying that was last one that I was accidentally doing?
Yes. You know, that's become a meme. Well, that's all right then. Has become a meme, like other.
Oh my God!
If you look in the GIF like when you can post where you post GIFs and things like Twitter and Discord and stuff. Or even Skype, probably. If you look on there, it actually has the toy maker GIF.
I'm looking something up to see if somebody's already done it or not.
Let's see.
Yeah, okay, so I can't find it. So, Doc, I have a new thing for you to draw.
What?
So, so now you the old Looney Tunes cartoon where Porky Pig says, "That's all, folks." Have him say, "Well, that's all right then."
You know what I really want, but I can't do because I don't have computer anymore. Like, I mean, it's somewhere, but I don't use it. The app I used to use, the program I used to use, doesn't work anymore. I haven't done music videos and stuff since in over a decade,
Damn.
and the technology has upgraded and made it so that it's kind of impossible to use the clips and stuff because of, I don't know, copyright shit,
Yeah.
whatever. Because I used to make music videos, but I really wanted to do the scene where the and they're like, you you've obviously all seen Lion King when they're like, Mufasa,
Ooh.
say it again.
Say it again.
I want to do like the Mufasa and the and use that audio to that scene because it would work so perfectly.
Let's see. Anything else?
I think the last music video I did was right after the second second season of Sherlock or first season of Sherlock, and it was to Sherlock, the BBC Sherlock, to the Linkin Park song "Leave Out All the Rest." That was the last music video I did. 11 years ago.
Let's see. Turn it off on a good note. I hope to see the Toy Maker again. It was a good episode. Hopefully the Christmas special is good.
I've seen it like 7 times now.
I know, it's definitely in my top 5 favorite now.
Yeah. He plays that role beautifully. I know Dex doesn't like the accent, but he devours the scenery. Like,
yeah,
I didn't say his acting is good. Everything else is good. I just found the German accent a little grating, which was fine when he was doing the shop, but you just drop that entirely. It's just but
yeah,
that's my own.
well, to be fair, the original one, I didn't actually get to see the original Toy Maker episode because it doesn't exist in its entirety, and so finding that story is really hard. But he was a very poorly done caricature of an Asian. Like, and that's why they dropped the Celestial in the in this episode. Although I liked the little tweak where it's like, we could be celestial. As a nod to the fact that he used to be called the Celestial Toy Maker. But because the term celestial is actually was apparently a slur for Asian people.
Which sucks because it's such a lovely word.
It is. And I never realized that. I only found that out because people were talking about it on like Doctor Who Twitter, and they were saying how I'm glad they dropped this term celestial at the beginning. It's such a problematic word, and it's like, wait, what? Yeah, it's this derogatory slur. It's a slur for Asian people. And look at the caricature of the toy maker in the original. It was so like racist against Eastern Asians, and it's like, wow, yeah, it really was if you look at it. But I didn't know celestial was a slur, and so I asked a Japanese associate of mine, and he's like, yeah, it is. It's an older term. It's not used really much a lot anymore, but it's because, and this is what he said. It's because our eyes make us look like aliens. That's what he said. So I don't know if that's really why that slur, it's a slur, or maybe because they are from elsewhere, which makes them aliens, like illegal alien type thing. But at that point, wouldn't every foreigner be?
Yeah.
Well,
that's all right then.
Exactly.
Alrighty then. I think we've wrung this one out.
Yeah, good episode.
They do need Osgood though.
Yes. All right.
I'd like to see. I would like to see an explanation of where she was, because even in the flux, Kate was talking to her like on the phone, so she's still very much in unit. So either she was killed, which I doubt it, or she was elsewhere.
I almost forgot. The TARDIS is now wheelchair accessible.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm done.
And there are two of them.
Yeah.
And Rose gets to go went to Mars. Did you just pitch up for Mars?
Okay. Now I'm done.
Okay. And see you next time.